Okay, so are we ready to call it yet? Yes? No? Is this a bad show? Do you think it's a good show? I'm. Listen, I'm still actually waiting. I'm still waiting. Let me tell you what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on this show to captivate my attention. I feel like I'm forcing myself to watch this. I'm not actually enjoying it, honestly. If I'm being truthful with you. I haven't really liked much in the show. There have been some aspects of it that I do like, mainly in terms of giving different characters and different um creatures a bit more exposure and a bit more understanding. Like one of the last episodes with the Rancor. I never knew that much detail about Rancors. I found them cool. Right? This episode with the Bantha. You see where I'm going with this now? If I'm finding interest in the Bantha more than I am Boba Fett, we have an issue. We have a huge issue. So let's really go into this because I thought this episode I really thought it was going to be about Boba preparing himself for this war that's coming. But this guy, just go back to being a bounty hunter, my guy. It's not, honestly, the daimyo thing, the one being one of the huts or being the guy in charge. Yeah, it's not working out. Some people are just not meant. This is not their position. It's nothing on you. It's no offense, but it's just not your position. It's not something that is a strength of yours. Evidently, being a bounty hunter was his clear strength. He was combat experienced. He was a killer. He was feared throughout the galaxy. Now, if this is the show that I'm basing all of that interpretation on, I would have never guessed it. Because if this is the show that I'm basing all that on, Boba has no idea what he's doing. He is clueless. This show should have been called Fennec, the Book of Fennec, featuring Boba Fett, because that's all this is. Fennec is the smart one. I'm actually a lot more curious about her story. This seems a lot more interesting. She seems a lot more interesting. She seems like a much more interesting character than he ever has. And he's getting a lot less shine in his own show than his supposed what sidekick. Is this a story of the two of them? Because if it is a story of the two of them, one of them is looking like a really good character. One of them is looking like a really developed character. One of them looks like a skilled assassin slash bounty hunter. And guess what? It's not Boba Fett. Boba Fett does not look like Boba Fett. Fennec looks like Boba Fett. She actually looks like everything that they built up Boba to be. Just kind of scary. The reason I was really interested in this show was mainly because of The Mandalorian. Alright? But after watching episode 4, we're just getting some of the same old, same old. I mean, how I love the Tusken Raiders. I love them, but how many times are we gonna do this back and forth game of flashbacks and going back to the Tusken Raiders? We get it. They were taken in, or they took him in. He became a member of their tribe. He became one of them. They trained him, or they taught him certain things about their traditions and whatnot, and he picked up some fighting skills. They gave him a gaffy stick. I believe it's called a gaffy stick. He made a gaffy stick. He went into the wilderness and did the whole spiritual journey thing and came back and really became a member. I get all of that. So he's desert experience. Cool. Why are we going over this every single episode? Why are we not getting to the meat? Why are we still wasting away on this? Now, I could go on for a really long time just criticizing this, but I'm not going to. Let's just see if we could dig into the plot of this show now. Okay, so we started off with a recap, and then we immediately went directly into Boba's flashbacks with the Tusken Raiders. We've seen them every episode, we know them, we love them, but we could go without seeing them every now and then. So what Boba was doing in this case is he's looking for his ship, and it's behind a very large door. But of course he can't get to it because one, Fennec is not there, and two, there are too many guards. You wouldn't think that there would be too many guards for someone like Boba Fett, who's a trained assassin at damn near everything, apparently, from what I hear anyway. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently there's too many guards in here for him to actually do it on his own. He needs help or he needs backup, something along those lines. This is when he retreats, takes the bantha, and we learn that this is where he meets Fennec. And we also learn that this show, or this flashback anyway, crosses over directly with the Mandalorian. If you remember, Fennec was shot in the stomach and was nearly killed if it wasn't thanks to Boba. I don't want to continuously just knock on this show. There were some genuine things that I enjoyed. Besides Boba Fett, one thing that I did enjoy was the bantha. I actually like the bantha, and I like Chrysanthemum. Is his name Chrysanthemum? Chrysanthus? Chrysanthemum. I'm gonna say Chrysanthemum. I like him. He's actually refreshing in all actuality. I like the Rancor. I like the creatures in this show, which is kind of crazy to say. I like the creatures more than I like the humans. That's insane. I find that they give the creatures more personality than they're giving the actual humans in this show. For instance, when Boba was trying to create an alliance with the other families, much like a Godfather type of situation, I find that the most exciting portion of that entire discussion was not the other heads. It wasn't Boba, wasn't Fennec. It was actually the Rancor. The Rancor gave off more personality than everyone else there, and all you got to see was claws. That was it. But you immediately felt the tension there. I felt the fear that they were feeling, because had I seen that, there's no way on earth that I'm sitting back down. I don't care who you are. You tell me sit down and there's a Rancor right under me? What's to say that there's not a trap door just in the occasion that I refuse? So why would I sit? Okay, so another thing that I like, Chrysanthemum, but not Chrysanthemum when he was standing with Boba. I like Chrysanthemum when he was in that casino. That scene, I enjoyed that. I thoroughly actually enjoyed that. To see him just get so frustrated with those guys just making up a pile of noise. I could recall moments like that where you're just wondering, like, yo, can y'all be quiet? Just keep the noise down. I get it. Yes, you're winning. Yes, you're killing everything. You're winning at this game. Got it. But can you at least just bring the noise down so much? And most of us would do nothing. Some of us would actually get up, say, hey, can y'all keep the noise down? And if they don't, then yeah, they call it on themselves, right? This guy, he wasn't having it. There was no talk. There was no discussion. He wasn't asking anybody. He just went over and shut them up himself. Even when I honestly thought that he was going to put the last one down, because I think he killed one or two of them or three of them, right? And then he like knocked out another one. And then I believe that there was one more that he was just holding up. And that is when the owner came, discussed with him, and tried to sell him on, you're better than this. This isn't you. Look at this. This is all of these guys. They're beneath you. You're a champion. You're a king. You're basically undefeated. You're the king and gladiator and yada yada yada. She's just really just delving into his ego. And I thought that if she had just kept on saying all that, because he kept on looking like, you know what, I am the champ. Yeah, you're right. I am the tournament champion. I am the best, aren't I? Feared throughout the galaxy. I thought, really, okay, he's gonna let the guy go, but maybe not. And then, of course, she hit him exactly where she really got his attention. When she said, if you just drop him, then, I'll square off your debts, and then, yeah, you just, you can leave after, or you can have another drink, or whatever you want to do, right? He kind of just looked like, oh, okay, all right. But, nah. These guys made too much noise. They upset me. It's principle now. It's the principle. You see, it's just an arm there and a body there. And of course, he's probably thinking in his head, when he dropped that coin bag, worth it. Now, unfortunately, that's about it for things that I genuinely enjoyed about this episode. And I venture to say that minus a couple other occasions, that's probably about it for things that I genuinely enjoyed about this show so far. I'm getting more I'm getting more from the creatures than I am from the actual characters, especially the main character. I think Boba has spent maybe 20 to 30% of this show in that little healing chamber. And now he's supposed to be fully healed. If what I would have liked to see is after he came out and was fully healed, puts on his armor, and then goes and squares up against Chrysanthemum. You know, just for a quick little rematch. Just to show him, listen, last time you actually only got at me because I was almost damaged. This time, I'm healed up. So yeah, let's square off. No weapons, no nothing, just me and you. And if he beat him there, then I would look and say, okay, all right, we got something now. We actually got something. This is Boba Fett. But, you know, he went and hired him, which is a smart move. I would have preferred if he had gained his respect by defeating him, but he went and hired him. Cool, no problem. Like I said, that is basically all that I enjoyed about this. Now, some of the issues that I had. When Boba meets and saves Fennec's life, he takes her to a body modification shop where honestly, this didn't feel like Star Wars. This didn't not just feel like a Mandalorian show. This didn't just not feel like a Boba Fett episode. It didn't even feel like Star Wars anymore. I wasn't sure what I was watching. I thought I was watching Cyberpunk come to life. I had to double check and make sure I was watching the right show because I turned for a second. I'm hearing a different kind of theme. You know, I'm seeing the same character, but everything just looked, and maybe it's just me, maybe I'm crazy, who knows, maybe I am crazy. Everything to me just felt off about this whole shop, right? Like the vibe of it just didn't feel like Star Wars. I always ask for new stuff when it comes to Star Wars, but this just felt, I don't know, out of place. Basically, it really just felt out of place. It just felt like something, like they were trying too hard to go into the cyberpunk era, on top of which all the cyberpunk gadgets, they look too fake. They really, really look fake. They look horrible. They're 1997, I believe that's when it was. Did a better job with Kano's face and that little thing that he has on his eye, that laser eye that he has. It did a better job than this. That's insulting. That is really insulting. The music was all off. Everything was it didn't feel like Star Wars to me. But nonetheless, they fixed up Fennec. Now she's half cyborg, half android. I don't know. She's a humanoid or whatever now, right? But at this point, Fennec goes about just reaffirming everything that I've been saying before and reaffirming everything I've been feeling before. This is her show. This is Fennec featuring Boba Fett. This is not Boba's show. I haven't seen Boba take charge or do anything that says this man should be feared within the galaxy, feared within the universe. Nothing along those lines. She does everything cool. She does everything crazy. She does all the cool stuff. She has all the catchphrases. She has all the nice lines. And you know what? In all honesty, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because of her. She is legitimately one of the only other things beyond the creatures, and I'm not going to watch the show just for the creatures. I need a character there, right? I need a character that I could actually vibe with and be like, okay, yeah, this person is solid. I'm actually enjoying the show more because of her. I'm finding Boba Fett to be a nuisance. Why is he there? Why? Somebody please tell me why he's there. Somebody, please tell me why he's there. Because I haven't figured it out yet. I legitimately have not figured out what purpose he actually serves. Every instruction she gives him, every good decision she gives him, she gives a better introduction. For instance, let me give you guys a couple of examples. Because he saved her life, she agrees to help him out. The deal is, after he gets his ship back, he is going to drop her off, I guess, wherever she needs to go, and then they'll part ways. Seems like a pretty fair deal, right? You want someone like Fennec that has, world-class assassination skills, especially with a sniper rifle. So yeah, he's got her on his side. That's a great deal, right? You'd be a fool to not take that. Now, he cannot get in. He's been scouting out this area, and he says to the Bantha, if you remember in the beginning of the episode, he says, "Not today," which means that he's been scouting this place out for a while. Boba Fett has not figured out a way to scope out this area properly and see how many guards there are. Fennec, within a couple of seconds of looking at the situation, says, "Yeah, hold on." Pulls a little drone, pretty cool looking drone actually, right? Little circular drone out of her gun, throws it down, and it just goes right inside, gives a little outline of everything that's going on, relays information, and voila, done. Fennec 1, Boba 0. When they actually sneak inside, Fennec is about to just scope out a little further, right? They've made it inside the hut, right? And she's gonna go check things out for him. And she just tells him, "Hey, wait here." They go to the side because they hear a noise coming, right? And after deactivating the first robot, I guess the chef robot or whatever it was, a little robot comes back in and looks around the area, notices them, and she takes off, and he's left to take care of this little robot on his own. Boba Fett cannot take care of a little robot. It has the robot deactivates itself. That's how he gets rid of the thing. He can't hunt a simple robot, tiny robot. This thing is smaller than R2-D2. Are you serious? Boba, yo, this it can't be the same. I don't know who the writers are, but they really hate this character. They really hate this guy. He can't hunt a simple robot, but when he does get to his ship, though, there's an onslaught of guards that are attacking still. Who gets rid of them? Not Boba Fett, of course. Fennec does. Fennec gets rid of them, right? Now, in the midst of her getting rid of them, there's one more guard on the back of the ship. She says to him, "Close the doors." And he asks her, "Do you know what you're doing? Have you never done this before? Are you not clued in as to what she's about to do? Do you think that she's about to sacrifice herself for you and your ship? Or do you figure maybe she has a plan? Maybe she knows what she's doing because that's what trained assassins do. Kind of like what you're supposed to be. They come up with a plan and then they do some cool stuff after. They say a cool line or they have a cool stare. She gets rid of the guard, makes it inside the doors as it's about to close, and then just gives a little stare down. Goes, sits down, crazy. Fennec show. And then the last thing that let me know that the writers really hate Boba Fett. If you were still kind of skeptical and just saying, "Listen, man, I get it. Maybe it's not the best portrayal. They're doing their best. Yeah, okay. Well, this one is gonna sell you on it. If ever you think that the writers do not hate Boba Fett, listen to this last one. In Return of the Jedi, the monster that is responsible for killing Boba Fett is a Sarlacc, correct? Now, Boba Fett has an encounter with that exact same Sarlacc because he assumes that is where his armor is. We know after having seen The Mandalorian, it's not in there. His armor is not in there at all. His armor is with someone else. I'm not going to spoil where that armor is, but it's with someone else. He has the exact same encounter with that Sarlacc. This time, though, he has a battle-ready ship. He has his ship. And instead of him getting retribution for killing that Sarlacc, it damaging his body, it destroying his insides, it basically ruining his life, he does not get the privilege of killing that Sarlacc that killed him, supposedly killed him, as we all, thought and assumed for so many years, right? He does not get vindication for all of that. But guess who does? That's right, you guessed it, Fennec. And in a pretty cool way. in a way on Boba's own ship that he didn't even pick up on. He's shooting, right? They go down a bit. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. They go down a bit just to kind of observe the Sarlacc a bit. It comes up, ties its tongue directly on his ship, and begins dragging him down. Now, anyone with half a brain knows when something is pulling you that closely down, or that with that kind of force, you don't just thrust your engines all the way back. You're gonna burn yourself out. Kill the thing. So he's shooting, and of course, the lasers aren't working. So he figures, okay, well, I guess we're gonna die. That's what he must have said to himself. In case you're thinking that he didn't. I'm sure he probably thought that to himself because he didn't come up with the next plan, which is the plan that actually worked. Fennec then looks at the situation. She observes the situation and then releases a bomb into the Sarlacc's wide open mouth. This guy had a bomb on the ship, is in perfect direction, and someone else who's never been on your ship, who's only been there for a matter of what, an hour, has already figured out your ship, your weaponry, and how to kill your enemy. The enemy we thought you were going to get vindication for. He didn't kill it. Fennec did. And that's where I drew the line. That's honestly where I drew the line because he had no solution. He had no plan. He had no battle experienced instructions. He had nothing. He just sat there and let somebody else figure this out for him. And that's where I said, okay, yeah, I get it. They don't like this character. They can't like this character. Either that or they're trying to set up Fennec for another show. But you could do that, but you don't have to do it at the detriment of Boba Fett. This is not Boba Fett. It can't be. This can't be the same guy. Either that or y'all were greatly exaggerating how cool of a character this guy really is. I really don't see it. And then he has the nerve, after she saves both of them, after she saves his ship that he just got back, he has the nerve to then turn to her and say, "Don't touch my buttons." You didn't have a plan. You didn't know what you were going to do. You didn't know what to do. You had nothing. So because you had nothing, you required somebody else to come in and save you. Of course, trusty old Fennec saved the day. Why is this show not about her again? Honestly, even the way that she set him up, when they were having that little discussion with the other heads of the town, even the way she set him up, it's pretty good. A good introduction, telling him, no, if you plan on continuing, peacefully, then you'll listen to Boba Fett. This is the guy that you want to trust in. She gives him a good introduction, which I'm fine. I found cool. I had no problem with that. It was all right. But when he's negotiating, can somebody tell me where this guy found the ability to negotiate? Because it seemed that every single question that they asked him, he had no answer. The other heads, they had about 2 or 3 questions for him. When he mentions about the spice trade, that, his enemies are making money off of spice, they said, well, we make money off of spice, so why should we give that up? And he had no answer. They said to him, well, what would prevent us from just walking out of here right now and, just killing you? Again, he had no answer. Just a rancor. This is when the rancor came up. And finally, when he gets them talking, they ask him, well, why should we help you? His answer to them is, well, I just need you to be neutral. I'll fight them. Why, I'll fight them alone. If your plan was to fight them alone, why are you negotiating for their help? Why not just ask them immediately to stay neutral? And that's the thing I don't get about this show. It's almost like they're trying to make Boba Fett look like a blubbering idiot, if I have to say it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I got one way to I think there's probably one way to redeem this show, all right? And it's at the end. The end left me with a little bit of hope. And that hope was found in the fact that there might be a chance. I'm hoping that there might be some small, slight chance that when in his search for new soldiers, because that's what he said that he's gonna go look for, some of the best. I'm hoping somebody makes an appearance. Either Ahsoka Tano, hopefully, very unlikely, but I could dream. Uh, Maybe some of the Mandalorians or the Mandalorian himself. Maybe even Cara Dune. Who knows? I I don't know what else to say, y'all. I'm I can't say I'm enjoying this. I can't say I'm enjoying this show. I'm becoming more and more disappointed as this show goes on, and it's just frustrating to me. I don't know I don't know what to think. I'm gonna finish it out because I'm already halfway through. Right? We got episode 5 coming up next week, and then after that we got 2 more, and then that's that. But I don't they're gonna have to really ramp it up and fix this guy, because whoever's writing this, tell him to stop. Stop doing what you're doing. Go off of the books. Go off of the comics. Go off of something else. Go off of something other than just, how you feel about things. This cannot be accurate. Not from what I've heard. Boba Fett is supposed to be damn near on par, if not better than the Mandalorian was. And right now, the Mandalorian seems like it is actually what the Book of Boba Fett is trying to be. Heck, I'll do you one further. Fennec. If we just went off of just making Boba Fett do what Fennec is currently doing, just switch the scripts. Let Boba Fett read Fennec's lines, and you'll fix this entire show. That's all you gotta do. That's it. If not, let the man just go back to bounty hunting. This daimyo stuff is not working out for him. That's all I got for now, right now. I'm just so disappointed with this show. I got nothing else to say. Alright, see ya.